Huzzah! Everyone, let's celebrate! Another good Adam Sandler movie came out! And it's about damn time it did! Look, ever since I saw Uncut Gems in theaters in 2019, one of my favorite movies I saw in 2019 that convinced me I should pursue being a filmmaker, one major thing of many things on my mind when I came out of it was, I hope Adam Sandler does more stuff like this. I love Adam Sandler as much as the next guy, which is to say, I like him when he's good and it upsets me when he's bad. I thought after Uncut Gems, a movie that showcased an Oscar-worthy performance from Sandler and a challenging role, he wouldn't have to make garbage comedies anymore. Oh, no. A year later, we had Hubie Halloween. Ugh. Look, it wasn't one of his worst, but it pissed me off more than any of his movies. Because when I saw it, I knew he could do more. I have seen great performances from him in both Uncut Gems and Punch Drunk Love. Now it's 2022, we finally have another good Adam Sandler movie. And I want to make it clear, some comedies of his, I like, some I don't, but I'm glad if he had to skip out on Hotel Transylvania 4 for something like this, I'll take it. With talking about Adam Sandler out of the way, what about the actual movie? So, Hustle is a 2022 Netflix film written by Taylor Materne Will Fetters and directed by Jeremiah Zagar. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Which was great, reading about how Adam Sandler was one who got Zagar to direct since Sandler liked his work. It's an interesting read about how it happened on IndieWire. So this is a sports movie, and it's specifically about basketball, which makes it a basketball movie, because of course. And you know, it is funny since Uncut Gems revolved around Sandler, Kevin Garnett, and a magic rock. But this movie, from both what I could look up and be told, is one of the most realistic basketball movies ever made. I like basketball as much... Okay, well, about the environment, NBA. No, what was I saying here? I like basketball as much as the next guy, too. I love playing basketball, but it's just not as fun for me to watch it, so I don't really watch that much basketball on TV. It's more of, I'd rather play it than watch it. I don't know. So thank God my brother was watching this with me so he could tell me about all the cameos from superstar basketball players in the movie I didn't know about. I mean, I know some, I'm not clueless, but, you know. So yeah, I went this far without saying what the actual movie is about or anything that happens. So with that said, what's the movie about? So the movie stars Adam Sandler as Stanley Sugerman, an international basketball scout for the Philadelphia 76ers that is tired of traveling around the world and finding disappointment when he'd rather be home with his family, his wife Teresa, played by Queen Latifah, and daughter Alex, played by Jordan Hull, and hopefully become an assistant coach for the 76ers instead. When things both look at their best and worst for Stanley, one thing leads to another, and in Spain, Sandler discovers that one player could change everything. In the streets of Spain, he sees the talents of an unknown person named Bo Cruz, played by Juancho Hernangómez. Who is also having a tough time, but is able to make it through supporting his mother and daughter, so Sandler decides to give Bo a chance of a lifetime, to come to America to train, try out, and the two team up, as both have to prove to others and themselves they got what it takes to still make it in the game of life, and, you know, be in the NBA, with, you know, Bo as a player, and Sandler as maybe an assistant coach, so, what did I think of the movie? It's good. No, it's not just good. It's fantastic. I can't think of anything I hated with the movie. The acting was great. The movie was beautifully shot. The writing was really good. It's superb. It's just, you know, it's exactly what's going to happen in this movie from start to finish, okay? You know what's going to happen. It's probably with most sports movies where they're so predictable. It's the problem with most sports movies I see where they're so predictable, especially with underdog stories such as this, where people look down at them for being weak or different or something, but they prove themselves in the end. Look, most people like a good underdog story. It's just interesting to me with, you know, more unconventional sports films that people love, like Field of Dreams or The Sandlot. But those are baseball movies. And this is a basketball movie. And whether you are a basketball fan or not, this movie works. Honestly, I didn't know the person they got to play Bo was a real basketball player, so it didn't distract me. I totally bought this person as this character, and Sandler was great too. I would say this is Oscar-worthy. I mean, a great performance is a great performance. It's just not as challenging of a role as it was for him in Uncut Gems. But praise should be said regardless. The writing was great, many good lines said, plus it's way funnier than any of his comedies since there are comedic lines in this movie, but it feels natural, like someone would actually, you know, talk like this, and, you know, there's not a scene where they just go on the court and everyone just barfs at each other like it was written by Gordy from Stand By Me. Anyways, I love the inclusion of basketball players in the movie. It didn't feel forced. Some roles could be switched, but the important players they got to help out do help out. It's weird this was produced by LeBron James. Yeah, he wasn't in it, though, for me. Like, it feels like they got everyone else from the NBA, because the way they act around Stanley does make it feel like they are real friends. It feels natural, and that's what makes this movie work. It might be cliche, but it's done fantastic. Everyone is easily identifiable and likable, and the story was intriguing. I love love looking at it. It's a great basketball movie, let alone a great sports movie. I enjoyed it from beginning to end. I can't recommend this movie enough to anyone I know. It's just a really good film that will stay in my mind for a while. So if you want to watch the movie, that's a slam dunk choice right there. I give Hustle an 8.5 out of 10.